Hello everyone, another day out in New Zealand, in one of the most remote places in the world, but we're still thriving, we're still surviving. Today, I'm going to go try and check out another free place to visit, free for the most part, I think. We're going on a mission to Mission Bay. It's very windy today again, so I don't know how much I'm actually going to be able to film and speak, because I know all 8 of you really enjoy it. Shout out to all 8 of you. But I'm not sure it'll be good to show just because of the weather. It's a bit sunny at the moment. I think it could be a bit rainy at some point, but the wind is just so high at the moment, especially because I'm going to a beach. I'm not sure that that weather will become any better. But I've been here just over a month now. I think I'm just about settling in. I think things are looking good there. But I may have a bit of advice for anyone looking to move out to New Zealand later on. I think I have 3 key bits of information for you. 3 key things to let you know about moving here if you want to move here. But first, we're going to go check out Mission Bay. Maybe check out some lunch. It's a bit more nature. I've decided I'm not going to walk up a hill this time. I just get too sweaty. It's too much effort. I think it's always a nice view, but it's not worth the effort every time. But there are just so many hills or mountains or volcanoes around that they need to be climbed by someone, and it might have to be me. I think the main one I want to do is Rangitoto. I want to go up there. I don't think it's free to go over there. It's an island. I need to take the ferry, so I need to sort that out. I might consider running up it, but I'm not sure if my foot is any better than it was. If you've been following, which I know 8 of you are now, you'll know that I've hurt my foot just from running, just from a jog. So I don't know if that's recovered yet because I haven't done anything since. So maybe I'll need to take that up again. But that's for future me to worry about. Right now, let's go to Mission Bay. Let's see the sights, hear the sounds, smell the smells, know the area, let you know what's going on. And I will impart some wisdom to you at some point, because I think I know what I'm talking about now. Okay, I have made it over, but I have some very important information to share with you. There are plenty of ducks here. You just keep walking by. There's another one. Look at them. They're going. Oh! Can you see the line of them in the mirror? I might have just summoned a bunch of ducks. I've timed this perfectly. The sun has come out. I think it's still a little bit windy, but the sun has come out. And we have managed to summon all the ducks to us. This could be a magical day ahead. Okay, so we've made it out of the car. It's not windy, which I'm quite surprised by. It's the first time it hasn't been windy for ages, I feel like, in terms of me doing this, so hopefully you can actually hear me. But there we go, look at that. Rangitoto in the background again. brought it up. I will climb up there at some point, just not today. But nice and sunny at the moment. Finally, it turns out I didn't summon those ducks. It was a guy with a bunch of bread. Saw some ducklings as well running by. He was just scattering bread everywhere, and all the ducks just came out of nowhere. So I'm very happy for them. Very happy for the ducks. But this is a pretty nice beach. Obviously no one else is really around at the moment. A couple of people. Everyone's, well, the children are back at school, so not many people about. I reckon I might try and look for a pie here. I'm thinking about trying to rank the best pie in Auckland, find the best one. I've tried a few, and look, they're all just very good. The pies out here are better than the pies back in England. Sorry to say it, I don't want to be controversial, but they're pretty great. It does look pretty, oh, the wind's picking up now, but it looks like it would be quite a nice day for a dip. I think the water's looking a good colour. It's not, brown, so not much sewage there. The waves seem pretty calm. Someone's out there. Don't want to invade their privacy, but I will put my hand in front of the camera. Anyway, I'll take a walk up, I'll take a walk around, and I'll let you know if there's anything good. I think we're going to have to search for a pie. I think that's really what I need to do. We have failed in our attempts to find a pie. I couldn't find any bakeries. Also, the wind has picked up again, so that's not right. But Mission Bay, I would say, is a very nice place to come visit if you have nothing to do and you're looking for something free. The parking's free, so that's a positive. And they have this lovely fountain as well. Oh, look at that. The wind really moves that water. Don't want to go too close, you will be sprayed if it is a wind. But I'd say Mission Bay has a lot of nice bars and a lot of restaurants. I wasn't really looking for a sit-down meal for lunch today. Thought I'd go for something a bit different. But maybe I will go search for a pie somewhere else. I know a spot. I know a good place. But it's a good place to come, and it's nice and easy. It's definitely one of those places on a weekend, if you don't know what you're going to do, if you have nothing to do, it's one you'd probably want to check out. That's what I would say. There's also plenty of stuff here to do for kids. I'm not going to film that, that's weird. But plenty of play areas. There's some exercise things down the other end. If I view. So Rangitoto, I'm parked over that way, but down the other end there's a bit of exercising going on. You can go check that out. Really, it's a nice place. It's a nice place. Bars, cafes, restaurants. What more could you want? It's on the waterfront. It's certainly a place for summer. I would recommend. The only bad thing is I couldn't find a bakery, I couldn't find a pie. So that was annoying. But you win some, you lose some, and we'll have plenty of other opportunities there. To all of those who thought I couldn't do it, who thought I didn't have it in me anymore, you are wrong. I do have a pie for lunch. It's a mince and cheese pie. I'm not going to review it on camera because it's my local pie shop, and I just think it'd be unfair. Your local is always better. I would have to give it a 10 out of 10. Everyone I've had from there is a 10 out of 10. I don't think it'd be fair for me to review it. I also don't want to edit me chomping down through this whole pie. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to eat this, and then I'm going to impart my wisdom upon you about moving to New Zealand. I'm going to give you some key things to know. The three things key. The three. I'll say it right. Hold on. The three key things to know. It's not all the things you need to know, but it is things that are quite important and that I kind of wish I had known before coming out here, and that I think most people will be quite interested in knowing about. So I'll eat this, and then I'll get back to you. Okay, so I've eaten my pie, I've had my lunch, I'm feeling good, and now I can speak to you about moving out here. Been here about a month or so now, and I think I can maybe give some good advice, especially about the process of moving here. One of the key things, we're going to go number one here, that I'm going to talk about is visas, actually entering the country. Now, coming into New Zealand as a tourist, your ETA, the visa waiver, that can leave you in the country for 6 months. But you're only on holiday, you can't do anything else. What you can do, though, is apply for the working holiday visa. I have some notes here, just so if I look down, no, that's what I'm doing. It's the working holiday visa. From a lot of countries, you have to be between 18 and 30 to apply for it. For some, it's between 18 and 35. But if you do it, you can stay in New Zealand for 12 months and take on casual part-time work. What you can't do is permanent work. That's not allowed. You cannot do that. So if you're looking to stay here to mainly be a tourist, but do a couple odd jobs here and there, holiday working visa might be for you. It's pretty easy to apply for. You go on the immigration website for New Zealand and just apply for it on there, follow their steps. It's pretty simple. They've made it pretty simple. If you're from Canada, you can stay here for 23 months on that visa. It's a slightly different rules. And then if you're from the UK, you can stay in New Zealand for 36 months on it, 3 years. So that's a pretty good deal. You do have to have either a return ticket out of the country, or you can prove that you can actually leave the country eventually. But again, if you're looking to be here, especially if you're from the UK or Canada, for a while and take on some part-time work, the holiday working visa might be the one for you, just because you can stay here a bit longer. Now, the other key visa for staying here is the accredited employer work visa, which is a little tougher to obtain because you basically need to be offered a full-time job before coming out here to have that visa. That's the only real way you can have that. It lasts for 5 years, costs about 1,500 New Zealand dollars, so in pounds about £750. And if it's an accredited employer with the government, then you can apply for it through them. But you do need to have that job offer in place, and you need your employer to help out with that. It lasts for 5 years, and it can lead to a permanent residency. You can see that on the New Zealand immigration website as well. But obviously harder to obtain if you haven't had a job offer. You just need a job offer for it. You need a permanent job offer. And I don't know how many workplaces would be willing to do that, but you don't know if you don't try. It does seem like the best option, though, for kind of shorter term movement is the holiday working visa. But again, you can't take on permanent work when you're doing that. From my research, That's not allowed. It has to be part-time work. But you can stay and travel for a good few years. The next thing is cost of living. That seems to be the thing that a lot of people care about because it's where all their money's going to go to. So it's understandable why people care a lot about it. Cost of living is a bit different to at least where I was staying in London, because I thought the food was expensive in London, which it is. It is going up in price, but it is so much more expensive here. Just food, groceries, all that sort of shopping is much more expensive, which I think is understandable. It's an island that is so far away from everything. It's hard to have everything come here. And there's also just not a lot of people living here either. So things are going to cost more. Now, something I have noticed cost of living wise is that a lot of people here, especially in Auckland, where I'm staying, seem to think that the rent is pretty high. And from what I've seen, the median rent's about 690 to 700 New Zealand dollars a week. That's another thing. The rent seems to be paid weekly instead of monthly. It's confused me for a bit. I like doing things monthly because that's what they always did in the UK. So I prefer it that way. But it seems to be mostly weekly here. Now, $690 to $700 per week, you might think, oh, that's not great. But from what I've seen, that seems to be the overall cost. So that'd be, I don't know, a 3-bedroom house. So it'd be about $690 to $700 a week. So you split that by 3, that's like 2 or so hundred per week per person. Times that by 4, I don't know, it's around 1,000 each per person if it was a 3-bedroom place. So you're looking at around £400 or £500 a month on rent. Compared to London, at least, that's a pretty good deal in my eyes. People here do seem to think it's not great. I just do feel that London has completely skewed my perception of renting in general because, you know, in certain places you might think paying £900 a month is a good deal. Just by yourself, not with everything else. £900 a month. So yes, that's completely skewed my perception of it. So when I'm seeing that you could be paying £450 a month on rent here, it's pretty good to see. It's something you're happy to see. You go, oh, well, that's a bit of a deal. That's great. That's amazing to see that. Obviously, you know, wages here aren't the highest. I know in some sectors they're higher than back in the UK. In what I'm working in, they're not, which isn't a bad thing. It all seems to balance out, really. It seems to balance out. You know, yes, groceries are much higher, but your rent might be much cheaper. So I think kind of like everywhere at the moment, cost of living's a bit high, but you will find bargains in certain areas. I think the rent isn't too bad. It is increasing, and a lot of locals here do tend to think it's not great. But when you compare it to somewhere like London, to be honest, when you compare most things to London, especially regarding rent, you go, wow, that's a bit cheaper. So if you're looking to move from London, you might save a lot of money on your rent. And the final thing I'll mention, the final key thing, is you do need to know how to drive. That is just very important. They do have a lot of buses. The train network in Auckland is pretty decent. It's not too bad, Yeah, it's not the London Underground. I don't want to compare everything to London, but it's what I have to go off. Don't want to compare everything to that, but it's not that. But not many places are. You're not having a train coming every 2 minutes. It's one every 10 minutes at peak hours, and maybe 3 an hour at non-peak hours, and then similar situation for the buses for the most part, I think. So you do need to drive. It's a car-based country. That is very important. It's pretty easy, from what I understand, switching from a British license to a New Zealand license. Now, I haven't done it yet, but that's more because I haven't been bothered to. Might not be the right term. Maybe I've been a bit lazy. That might be the better term. But it's pretty easy to do. You just need 2 forms of ID, one being a valid driver's license. Obviously, not every country is covered in terms of switching over this easily. There's exempt countries which, I'll throw it up here now. Here are the exempt countries where you won't have to take another test. You just show up and you hand some documents over. Here they are. They're on screen now. So you have to fill in a form, which you can find on the NZTA website. Fill that in. 2 forms of documents, valid driver's license, and then another form of ID. I think you also have to prove you're living in New Zealand as well, but I'm not sure you do. Definitely the 2 forms of ID. You need to take coloured photocopies of that ID, which has actually been the hardest part of the process so far. I need to find a place to colour photocopy my documents, and with the license you need to do both sides of it. And then they'll have you take an eye test, which you can take with your glasses on if you wear glasses, and then it should be just a quick sending over of the ID to you. So that's pretty simple. If you're not a driver, you're probably going to have to learn how to do it here, unless you want to pay a lot on taxis or take public transport. I don't mind taking public transport, but some people don't. All the cars I've seen, at least, are automatics. So maybe if you don't have a license back in the UK or Europe, or wherever you are, don't worry about taking a manual test. Learn how to drive an automatic, because that's just what they all are here. I haven't seen a manual yet. Almost a bit of nostalgia for a manual. Maybe it'd be nice to find one, but no, driving an automatic's easy. So easy. It's just a go-kart most of the time. Anyway, so those are my pieces of knowledge to give to you. The visa situation, fairly easy if you just want to come for a couple years and work part-time. The working holiday visa is for you. If you're offered a job out here, then you need to go through a slightly different process, but if you've been offered the job, then your employer should help you out with that. Cost of living, it's not great most places. Something's good, something's bad. Rent, I think good, but comparing it to London, so it might be different compared to other places. It might be on par, but groceries, food, all that is more expensive. And driving, you need to drive. It's the way it goes here. You need to drive. This isn't Europe, the UK, where you can go most places on public transport, you need to know how to drive. It's just how it goes. So anyway, I hope you enjoyed that. 2 parts to the video, a bit of checking out local areas and telling you what you might need to come here. If you liked it, subscribe. I would appreciate that. And you can see plenty more of this. You're part of a very tight-knit community if you do decide to subscribe. There's only 8 subscribers so far. If I hit 10, maybe I do a subscriber special, a 10 subscriber special. That would switch things up maybe. That might be an incentive for you to keep taking part in this incredible journey we're on together. Anyway, have a good day. Hope you enjoyed. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.